Okay, so we'll do another drawing in draw.io. Just before we begin, I want to show you a little bit about the XML file. So this was the XML file that I had saved in the previous example, and just I'm going to open this up in like Notepad or something so you can see what this looks like. It's just a bunch of gibberish when it comes down to it. You have to open up your XML file in draw.io. It's not like you can just open it up in anything and be able to see your model. So what I'm going to do is bring back draw.io, and I'm going to open an existing diagram. So if you wanted to open one of your diagrams, or very importantly, like after I grade your work, I'm going to put my notes right in your diagram and send it back to you with my feedback. So you'll have to open that existing diagram to read my feedback to you. So again, I'm in draw.io, and I'm going to open an existing diagram. And see, in the last video, I was saving to my device. You may do things differently, like Google Drive or something, but in any case, I'm going to find that XML file. There it is. And here I am right where I left off. So I think I'll add to this. So let's say this is a homework assignment and you have to do 2 or 3 drawings for me. So I have one drawing. Let's say this was problem 1, and there's my answer. Okay. So if you see me down here, you can add pages. I'd like each diagram, if you have multiple problems, if you can put each diagram on a different page, that would be great. So maybe I'll change this page. I double-clicked the page tab, and I'll say this was problem 1. Okay, just pretend there. And then maybe I'll click this plus sign to add a second page, and this will be problem 2. Okay. So for our pretend problem 2, why don't I do this model here? This is the student-teacher scenario, and we have a many-to-many relationship with optional minimum cardinality on both sides, so another symmetrical line. But so at this point, you kind of know what to do. I'm going to plop 2 entities onto the diagram, and this one will be the student, and then this one will be the teacher. And let me see if I can find this one. Eventually we'll get used to where we're going to keep using the same. Yeah, oh, I'm getting closer there. We're going to keep, there it is, it's the last one. This is a common line that you'll use, is the double crowfoot with optional on both sides. So that's in the lower corner apparently. So I'm going to drop that into my diagram. Again, I'll connect them just pointing to these blue ends. And then, like, when you get that green light, so to speak, you just let go, and you're connecting your diagram. Okay. Oh, and you know what? It remembered the dashed option from the last time. Okay. So, and again, if you wanted to make any changes, you could. This would be the line start, the left-hand side. This would be the line end. You can just as easily pull that down and change, or you can just as easily delete the line. I click the line and delete, hit the delete key on the keyboard and choose a different line. Okay, or you can do what you will there. Okay. So you can see it's a pretty easy, straightforward tool. Eventually our diagrams will get a little more complicated, and we'll use some of these other ones, but for now, for the next few weeks at least, this is all you need, just the plain rectangles and the line tools. Okay, again, the hard part is sorting out the cardinalities and the planning ahead. The easy part is just throwing it into the diagram. I think one thing I'll caution you against, the most common error I see at this point, as we're beginning data modeling, is a flipped line or a backwards line. Now in these 2 scenarios, the line was symmetrical, so that wasn't going to happen anyway, but that's one thing you should be conscious of when you're modeling, is to not get that line backwards. So yeah, other than that, why don't you try it out and tell me how you like draw.io. And again, I'll just mention that I'll go ahead and save the changes. So this is going to be saved to that file on the desktop, the XML file. And when it's time to submit, and this is the most recent one, that saving at 221. When it's time to submit, then this is the one I'll want, is that XML file. Maybe your most recent XML file is the one that you will submit in Canvas. Okay.